Hello, welcome to Sweet Tree of Life Tarot. Welcome, Aries, wonderful fire sign. This is your reading for August 2022. Let's go ahead and start the reading. Thank you for joining me tonight. So right here we have what the issue is. So we have basically the Six of Wands. Now with the Six of Wands, this tells me that because it is in the reverse position, it's letting me know that some of you might be feeling like you lost a fight, maybe feeling defeated or having lost something. And when you lose a fight or a battle, it may leave you feeling a little bit hopeless, and that's what I'm getting off of this reading for right now. But for some of you, it might also just be a delay in receiving your rewards. So even though you feel like maybe some of you have lost something, some of you have lost a battle, have lost a fight, and are feeling a little defeated. Others of you are just having that delay in receiving your rewards. So let's go ahead and continue. Why you're feeling that way? Let's see. I have here the Nine of Swords. Now the Nine of Swords here is usually a card of guilt, anguish, and regret. As you can see, she's kind of paralyzed by her fear here and kind of leaving her in fear and doubt, unable to move. However, you can see all the birds here. They know there's a light of hope, and these birds here are just waiting for her to get up, pick up that ninth sword, and then just kind of keep moving forward towards the light. So it's basically just, they're watching her saying, okay, now it's time to get up, pick up that sword, and move on into, because the clouds of conflict are parting. So now you'll have light of hope coming through. So it's basically saying, yes, you've been through a struggle. You may be feeling defeated, but it's time to get up and keep moving. Right here, we have the Five of Pentacles. Now, the Five of Pentacles here tells me what's kind of been created. And it's basically, yes, you might have lost something. Maybe some of you have lost a job or an investment. It is a lack of prosperity, or a failure at something that you just failed at, or a loss. However, it can also indicate for some of you ill health. It is definitely a feeling of feeling alone, abandoned, even anxious, or just unwanted altogether. So this card just reminds you, don't focus on that. There is hope coming through. You have the love of family and friends. And even though you might feel a little sad about losing something, you want to hang in there because you might be poor materially right now. You're feeling like you're lacking in that area. But spiritually, you're very prosperous. So keep counting those blessings and keep moving forward, even though you feel like you've lost something here. For some of you, it might be with a partner. You feel like you've lost that partner and it's leaving you that feeling if you've lost your boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm getting a feeling that I might be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, another fire sign like yourself. Let's keep reading to see if we can have any more clarity. Right here, they have the Ten of Wands. Now, the Ten of Wands here is letting me know that some of you are feeling overworked, overburdened. Maybe you're just feeling a little overwhelmed, kind of struggling to make it. So you have like that workaholic type of feeling where you just want to keep pushing yourself. Feeling constantly forced to do things the hard way. That's why you see the poor horse just going up the hill here, and then you're just kind of having a hard time because there's too much to carry. So some of you are definitely feeling that overworked, overwhelmed feeling, and it could be dealing again with the situation here. So now you're feeling financially responsible. Maybe it's kind of like a heavy burden at this time for you. And then let's go ahead and continue the reading here. It will be the Tower, Major Arcana card. So this is in the area of what you need to dissolve. So this is telling me that you need to dissolve this feeling of basically something crumbling, kind of reversal of that fortune that you were having, which shows me here. It could be some of you, with a loss of a job possibly. And, it's just telling you, hang in there. You do have the means to make things happen. Just have to keep going. This is, the monumental change that's kind of occurring in your life for some of you. This perception here is basically one of like, oh, everything's falling apart. But what it means is actually falling into place. So it's not falling apart so much as that it's falling into place. Okay, so you'd want to, this card reminds you have to change your perception. So your perception of what this drastic change in your life is happening will determine how you will adapt to new circumstances. So you definitely want to adapt to those new circumstances And in order to make it out of the situation here or through the situation a lot easier, instead of focusing on the negative and falling apart. So let's continue to see if there's any more clarity here. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles here is in the center position. So it's kind of like the foundational card, this energy that's kind of like the bigger energy than the other ones. So the Queen of Pentacles is down to earth, very practical, financially savvy. She's very generous. She's basically very resourceful, and she welcomes everyone with a warm and open heart. Okay, so she's very earthly bound, so it does consider a lot of maybe financial stability or emotional stability as well. And then as we go forward, what is in your victory position? It's a beautiful major arcana card. Very positive. It's the Sun. Now the Sun, as you can see, it's an enlightenment, finding the truth, finding that deeper insight and that lesson that you have to learn. You know, and it's everything that encourages you to shine brightly. As you can see, the sun without the positivity, the butterflies meaning life, and also transformation. And so you might have to transform that perspective that you have right now into something more positive, so that encourages you to shine brightly the way you usually do. So this is also a sense of a confidence, high energy. And if you're having bad health, this is good health. So good health and bliss. So it's definitely giving you a lot of positivity, that even though you're going through a tough time right now, better times are coming, hope is coming, you're getting brighter days, because everything's going to be falling into place. And you have the stability to do so, because the Queen of Pentacles is very stable and financially, but not just financially, also very generous, and also very going to be also financially or emotionally stable. Right here is what you want. It kind of reveals that you want that Knight of Cups to come through. Now the Knight of Cups, just, you know, he is chivalrous, he is sensitive, he's kind of, you know, he's strong. But he does bring also an invitation or a request, so that's kind of what you're wanting. But as you can see, the Knight of Cups does tend to have most of the horse's feet in the water. So that usually lets you know that even though he's really, you know, chivalrous and strong, he might be overly sensitive. Not just sensitive, but overly emotional, overly sensitive, and not too ruled by his head. So he might be ruled by his heart, so he might just kind of be acting rashly. So that's kind of like the only kind of warning that this card gives, you know, as far as with someone that you do want, somebody chivalrous, somebody strong, you know, that you want that knight to bring you that invitation of new love. Possibly this is what that's looking like, but it's just reminding you to make sure it's not somebody that's acting rashly, or that is ruled by their heart, and then they think one thing and then act a different way later. Now right here in the trunk of the tree, what we have is a Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands here, what that indicates is, you know, somebody this is how you see yourself or others see you, you know, passionate, confident, full of life. You're also charming and adventurous, you know, have an adventurous spirit. Obviously, you know, Aries, fire sign, very adventurous spirit. But you have to be careful, because that could lead to maybe being insensitive yourself. So maybe because you're kind of talking or relating to this other person, I'm not sure, but you kind of want to look at yourself so that you're not the one being insensitive or acting too rashly. So this card reminds us, you know, okay, you know, you can act spontaneous, but not too spontaneously. So you want to it reminds you that you have to kind of, if for those of you that do tend to be a little rash, and being this is Aries, you know, we tend to be this way as far as very fiery, very spontaneous. So if we do tend to be that kind of, you know, being a little rash or quick to action, is letting us know you got to wait and think about it very carefully before taking that step. So before taking your step, it's warning you, make sure you do take care to think about it before doing so. Don't act irrationally. Don't act rash, you know, very rashly and in a hurry kind of thing. Always, you know, take your time. And of course, you know, keep having that charming, adventurous spirit, but don't let it go to the point where it'll become insensitive, because it looks like some insensitivity is going on right here. Now, as the outcome card, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful card. The Nine of Pentacles does show someone who is very self-sufficient, very refined, very comfortable in her surroundings. So basically, you know, she's built the life that she's visualized for herself. Therefore, she is fulfilled and content, right? So if she's fulfilled and content, then she's lived and she's very stable because she knows she's created this life. She knows they won't, the animals here are tamed because she's created that hard work and put all the hard work into creating this situation here. So that's kind of like the outcome that you can come into that place where you do feel that sense of, of where you want to be. Let's see. Let's get a little more clarity. I'm going to go ahead and pull another card just to get a little more clarity. The card will be going here. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. So it is dealing a lot with maybe financially stable or emotionally stable for some of you because of what you're going through with some heartbreak. But some of you, it seems to be more like a loss of a job or something of the sort. So right here for the Seven of Pentacles, we have reaching that milestone, reaching that goal. It signifies again, pausing to reevaluate your next steps. Okay, because those next steps you will need to take after resting a little bit. So it's basically telling you the same thing it does down here. Make sure you take that moment to really think about your next steps before taking them. So it just kind of repeats again and kind of gives you that message once again. So it is really important that you do take that moment to step back, take a rest, obviously count your blessings, but think before you react and what you're going to do next. She's proud of her efforts, but she knows that consistently working is going to be necessary in order to maintain that garden and reap more in the future. So it is definitely another reminder, reinforcer of what we just talked about. Right here we have the column of severity, and over here the column of mercy. In the middle we have the column of harmony. As you go back up the column of harmony, you see that it is the same, maybe a different perspective for it, but kind of like a recap of everything. You have the Nine of Pentacles here showing, yes, you need to stop, think about what you need to do, but the outcome is that you will get through this. You have the Sun card, major arcana card, beautiful card that radiates throughout your reading, that you will come out of this. But in order to achieve that victory, you will have to kind of take a moment, take a step back, and just kind of think about your next step. Basically, do not act rashly, like in a hurry, too spontaneously, like this Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands tend to be. So that is an aspect that you have to kind of be careful for. All your hard work that you do have, you want to find that balance, because you don't want to feel like everything's crumbling around you because you're feeling overwhelmed because of this whole situation, plus being overworked. You do have that Queen of Pentacles here that kind of maintains everything steady emotionally and financially. So you do have the capability of coming out, and just being the champion from this struggle. If you follow the victor, if you follow some of these perspectives and where it gives you the victory position, meaning the Sun card, having that positive energy, having that positivity, shine brightly, looking at that perspective. And because they changing the perspective what you're going through right now, of course that will determine how you adapt to your new circumstances. So something to think about and kind of ponder, and definitely take that moment to step back and think about it before making your next step. But you got this. You keep going. You will get through this. And of course, right here, it just reminds you have friends and family, your spirituality, you're spiritually rich, even if you don't feel like you're monetarily rich. But right here, a lot of you seem to be sensing that feeling of, just being alone. And you're not. You have family, you have friends, you have lots of love and abundance. So make sure you hold on to that as well. And of course, your spirituality and your faith, much more definitely your faith as well. I hope this reading has been helpful. I hope it gives you a new perspective. And for those of you that have been feeling ill, looks like the card here counteracts that with the Sun. And, with better health ahead, just take care. Go to the doctor, take care, and get checked. Never hurts to get an extra check and an extra doctor to see what's going on. Don't want to assume anything. And I hope that you all feel better and then you come out through this very successfully. Remember, you've got what it takes to do it, to come out that champion, that you need to come out of this major struggle that you're going through. But you got to change that perspective into a positive perspective. Okay, because everything seems to be falling into place. Thank you for joining me today. If you do like this reading, please go ahead and subscribe. And that way I know you want me to continue making these videos in the future. Thank you for joining me, and I hope it gives you a positive perspective on your situation and more hope in your situation as well. Take care, and I wish you lots of peace, love, and light. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.